Yep.
Working on there.
All right, welcome back to the Spotter Stand. Coming at you live this week from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've already left Daytona, heading into Atlanta. We've got the Daytona graphic up here because that is where we raced last week. We're going to go over all the race results, point standings with everybody. Once again in the booth with us, as you heard over the intro there, BSR Pockets and BSR Hot Rod. How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody? What's up, Texan?
Not a whole lot. I don't know what was going on with that delay. We had to restart the stream here. The first time I kicked it off, it didn't go live for some reason, and I had to go redo the settings and kick it off a second time. But we're all good now. So
right on time.
Yeah, just about what we would normally be, about 10
after. Yeah, if we started at 8 o'clock, people would miss the first 10 minutes of the show because they wouldn't think we'd ever have started on time. So that was about perfect. Great to be here in Atlanta. Did y'all try some of those peaches down there? Those damn things were delicious.
Oh, man. Peaches have just never been my thing, really. I mean, they are good, but I don't know why. Just peaches haven't been my favorite fruit.
Well, we hope that Atlanta is one of your favorite tracks because
Atlanta is a tire eater. Are you kidding me?
It sure is. It's gonna create some carnage and great racing combined.
Real racing starts this week.
Yeah, we're finally done with the 2 weeks straight of nothing but Daytona, and we're going to be moving on to some speedway tracks. It's definitely more my style of racing. I like those much better than racing Daytona, but yeah, got to get some Daytona in there every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I've had more than my share of it, though.
Not with the bad luck I had. I would gladly give it up.
Some people are happy to be moving past Daytona. Some people wish they were still at Daytona. Oh, we've got a split. Or 2-1. So, anyway.
Well, our very own BSR Pockets, he had a great week at Daytona. So, what can you say? I'm sure you'd be happy to be back there, especially after the week you had.
Absolutely. And y'all both know that I have had to sit through some bad weeks in 2018. And we're kind of proud that we'd finally had a good week that we can be happy about.
Well, we've got some picks to share with you guys this week. Let's get started with that. First up, I've got a pick of myself holding up a couple of plaques here. This is the plaque I received for the Len Voiles Memorial race that I won. Luckily, everybody ran out of gas and blew up, and I was the only one left at the end. Also, a pick for the Hangover. What is it? 250? Hangover 300?
Yeah, Hangover 200.
Yeah, very first race of the 2019 season. I was able to win, even though I didn't win at Daytona this week. I still got me a couple of wins there. One in the Len Voiles Memorial, another one in the Hangover 200. Sorry I didn't have a pick of the jerky here, but man, that jerky's so good. It got eaten before I took a picture. I've got some more jerky coming in. I'll take a pic and send that in. I've got another pic here. It's a little bit dark. I don't have a lot of great lighting in my house, and unless I take a pic in the middle of the day when the sun's shining in, it's just a little dark in here. It's a pic of both of those plaques hanging on my wall there. Just to let Brian Voiles know, unlike BSR Momo, I actually put my plaques on the wall. instead of in a drawer. I see Steve Looney out there. What's up, Steve? I thought you were going to be racing tonight. Good to see you in there, man. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, that's two big. Hey, Steve, that's two of the big events that kicked off 2019, and you managed to win both of them there, didn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Well, we won't.
even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Yeah. Everybody knows that 201's a threat at any track we go to, and Daytona's not any different, even though don't like it. And I always say, well, you do so good there, how can you not like it? But you know, everybody, I enjoy speedway racing too, but super speedway racing is just so much different than, and this league was at one time was a super speedway league. They called us plate monkeys and Dega heads, and that's why the racing, the speedway racing here is so fantastic, because as you know, most of the people race have been racing here for well over 10 years. So but that's two big high profile events that kick off, special events that kick off the 2019 season. And you coming off the championship, being the current 2018 season, and winning both of those events, that's kind of a shot across everybody's bow to let them know that you're back for 2019.
That's
In
right.
the 201 Drunken Cow Jerky original car.
I've got a few other picks to share with you guys here. This is a pick of BSR Brain Fade's Ironman trophy. He's got a little Drunken Cow Jerky set up beside it. Just, what was it? Only 3 drivers received the Ironman trophy in the 2018 season. This trophy, that's just a cool looking trophy. I have one from the 2017 season. I was able to get one of those Ironmans, but this is awarded to drivers who make every single race in the Truck, the Cup, and the Xfinity series. Now that's dedication. Make every single race from the start of the season to the last race of the chase in all 3 of the major series. These guys are awarded this Ironman trophy.
And those other 2 guys that got the Iron Man award also made every single broadcast here on the Spotter Stand in 2018, and that would be myself and our good friend Dr. Larry Yeager, the foot doctor himself.
Yes, absolutely. Only I believe you did miss one broadcast last season, Pockets. Larry and I had to do a show by ourselves.
Yes, I may have. Thank goodness that doesn't count. But yes, that is for, and that's special thanks to Rick Craddock, everybody at Real Tech for providing that little trophy. That is that's a very hard because I'll tell you from what February to November, there's going to be a night in there that you just don't feel like it, or you know what I mean. And so that does show an extra amount of dedication, and we appreciate those guys who win that award.
Absolutely, and we appreciate Rick Craddock for giving these out. I got a couple of more here from Brain Fade. There's a pic of his plaque from the Voiles Trucking, the 3rd annual. What is that? 3rd annual. Is that the Hangover or the Lynn Voiles? That's the Hangover, yes. 3rd annual. He got 3rd place in that. Also received a plaque 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Got a plaque and some Drunken Cow Jerky. Brain Fade, of course, took the picture of his jerky before he ate it all, unlike myself. Looks like that bag on the left hasn't been opened yet. I was about to say, it looks like he might have eaten some of that already.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this. I don't know that I've ever taken a picture of prize winnings from Drunken Cow Jerky that at least one of the packages was almost impossible to do.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you break it out of the box or the bag, you gotta open one and try it.
I always used to tell Mark that was a sign of great jerky, because people couldn't even just stop for a second to take a picture of it before they tore it open, got some, and then took a picture. So that'll tell you a lot right there.
Now I've got one more pic from Brain Fade. A picture of the man himself holding his plaque and his Drunken Cow Jerky. BSR Brain Fade. Oh, there, I didn't even notice that before, but there's his Ironman trophy sitting right there on the coffee table in front of him.
Our good friend Brain Fade. He's been around here for a long, long time, man. He's been as long as I have been. Great guy, great friend of mine. Uh, Good to see him bringing home some prizes for racing here at Bomb Squad Racing, and thanks to Drunken Cow Jerky and Brian Voiles, Kathy Voiles, everyone at Voiles Trucking. They did a really great job for us in 2018 sponsor wise. You know, that just shows you dedication that our members have here. I mean, he's putting his hard-earned money on the line out there, representing his company and providing great prizes for the guys here. And man, it's really brought something a little special here. Everybody enjoys the racing and the great prizes that we give out.
Yeah, these plaques are actually they're great. I remember last season we were talking about how I didn't have one of these, and it was toward the very end of the season when I finally got my first one. And between the end of the 2018 season, beginning of the 2019 season, I've got three of them now, and I've got them all hanging on my wall right around my desk, around the other trophies that I've won. It's great. It's a good reminder. It feels good to look up there and see those trophies and see those plaques and know what I've accomplished over the years of sim racing that I've been doing this.
They are great, and I can tell you myself, I was fortunate enough to win last year's AK series, the Art Rogers Memorial Series, BSR AK Racer, and the Lynn Voiles 250. And I'm going to tell you right now, those are memorials to great guys, great sim racers, and it's kind of a twofold deal there. You get to look at, hey, I won that race. What a great feeling. But you also get to say, you know what? I won that race at a memorial for a couple of great guys. So those are a little bit extra. Those hang a little bit higher than you know what I'm saying? They have their own kind of special area. They're kind of up at the top where everything else, where, all the prizes, all the championships are great, but some are just, they just mean a little more because of what they represent. And those are some great ones to win right there.
We've got one more to share with you here. This is a picture of BSR Momo's oldest son holding up the Drunken Cow Jerky that he won from the Daytona shootout. Momo did win the Daytona shootout, got 5 bags of jerky there. Looks like he's like me, enjoys that beer bacon and the original. I see a couple of bags of beer bacon there and a bag of original. Looks like he's got some teriyaki and hot as well. I love that beer bacon. I also love the original flavor. The original is just great beef jerky, and that beer bacon, man, it's got a great bacon flavor. Other than those, I like the spicy ones. The hot is pretty good, but I really enjoy the Ghost and the Reaper. I think that Reaper is great.
I the Ghost it's just got a flavor that's out of this world. It's unlike anything else, and it's not too hot. I've always told Mark that the description on there is a little bit scary. It's a little bit too scary because it's not quite that hot. It's just really good, and it's hot enough for you to feel it. But now for me, the Reaper is a little bit too hot. But the one thing I do like about the Reaper is that opposed to a regular bag that'll last you, if you're lucky, a day, that Reaper will last you about a week. You just can't eat it fast.
Now, I've got a buddy at work, the guy that trained me actually. The last time I took some jerky up to work, I took a bag of that Reaper, and he's Spanish, he's a Mexican guy, and he grabbed that bag of Reaper. He took the whole bag, and he ended up eating that whole bag over the course of about a few hours. And he said it was a little spicy at first, but obviously it calms down after you've had a few pieces of it. But he ate the whole bag. He said he was feeling it later on.
Oh, absolutely. I can guarantee. And I tell you, I do the ordering for and send the prizes out to everybody. I get with Mark Heyman and we work out the shipping and stuff like that because Drunken Cow Jerky provides us turkey prizes throughout the year for certain events that Mark and I work together and pick. So if you see something like the Daytona race that we're going to talk about here last week, the Thursday night Cup Series, which is our biggest series, Mark and Drunken Cow Jerky provide the prize for that. These other prizes, Brian and Kathy Voiles, Rick Craddock at Real Tech, Texan, Magoo, a lot of people provide the jerky for this league. They get with Mark, and that way we can give our members and everybody can give our sponsor business and then give it away as a prize. And man, it just works out so perfectly because everybody wins in that. I mean, because I know you, Texan, you feel really good about providing jerky to that you've won and passing it on to other people for a drawing maybe who may not have had a chance to win some jerky in a race. They had some bad luck, but then they got lucky in the drawing and stuff like that. So it works out real good. And I can tell you this, through all of the ordering that I've done, I believe beer bacon has got it. It really, that seems to be the one that I order the most for people. There's always a couple of beer bacons in there in some orders that I do. You know what I mean? You can always count on almost everyone has to have a package of the beer bacon.
Absolutely. I always include beer bacon in any order that I have. And yeah, you're right. When you're fortunate, and most of the other guys are like that, just like me. When you're fortunate enough to get lucky, a few times, especially when they're not spread apart. Like I won. I think there was some jerky for the shootout or for the memorial. There was some more for the hangover, and when I won the first race, the hangover, and I took that jerky, and then the next one that I won, and I just there's other people that haven't had jerky in a while, and I'd like to see one of those guys get to enjoy some of that as well.
Well, I can tell you this: we probably had anywhere from 20 to 25 people in our races this week, and I could probably look at the list, and I don't think there's anyone in there that hasn't received some drunken cow jerky as a part of a prize or a drawing or something over the 2018 season and over the off season. I mean, I really don't think there's anyone who hasn't received any.
Yeah,
If
maybe.
there is anybody that raced, so let me know if that's incorrect.
I see Randy out there in the chat box. Have you received any jerky, Randy? And maybe Vince Conway. He's recently started racing with us. He may not have received any jerky yet, but I'm sure his time's coming.
Well, I can tell you about Vince Conway. He's going to have to pay. I mean, that's. I'm going to put my foot down on that one right there. He's going to buy some. That's a good point.
All
Vince
right,
may
Vince.
not.
Vince,
I'll have to find out.
if the next jerky I win, I don't know if I can do it. I can. I guess if it's my jerky, I can do whatever I want with it instead of having a. Oh, Randy says no. He's never had any either. So there we go.
Oh, Randy, yes, you have. Have you not?
Randy's getting my next jerky if he hasn't won some already. Next jerky that I win, I'm donating to Randy. I already placed the order with Scar that I got for the AK series. I'm gonna take that one. The next one, if Randy hadn't gotten any, he's getting mine.
10-4.
Look,
I
look,
have
no, but
Randy's
I'm open to
address too.
donations. I see him right there. Well, let's get on with the racing from last week, and we only had the 3 series. We had to put off the team series this last week because we moved the Cup race from Thursday night to Saturday night due to it being Valentine's Day on Thursday. We also extended that race from the normal 40% up to a 65% race, but just 3 races to go over with you this week, so we should be able to work through this pretty quick. We are going to start out with the Wednesday night truck series. Raced at Daytona, season opener, first race that counts for points toward the season. First race that would put a name in the winner's box. And the winner was BSR Quack in that number 8 machine. Fowler Farms with the apples all over the side of it. And Quack, man, it's great to see him get a win. Quack shows up and races a lot. He races with us all the time, but you seldom see him get into victory lane. And man, it was great to see Quack take the victory of the first truck race of the season at Daytona.
That's absolutely correct, man. And you know the number 8 team, Fowler Farms team there, and Wayne Quackenbush has had a limited schedule over the past in 2018, and I got a lot of personal stuff going on. You see a lot of the things that he does on Facebook. He's always doing some some outstanding home remodeling. I mean, this guy is a pure talent. And he messaged me earlier or a couple of months ago and told me that he was getting his truck and car ready for the 2019 season, and he was going to come back and make a couple of races. And man, what a comeback! His first race back. That I kept thinking that whole night. I was like, old Quack, man, he ain't forgot how to do that super speedway racing. He's always a threat, man. He is super up on that wheel driving every single lap of racing for every bit that he can get, and it was great to see him pull off that win. I mean, that was a fan and driver favorite right there. What a great win that was, because that was a hell of a race.
Now, I wish we could have got Quack in here for a driver interview, but hopefully he'll go back and watch this, see that we were talking about him and showing his render here on the spotter stand. Let's take a look at the finishing order. You got the top 5 for us there, Larry?
Larry, did you fall off the spotter stand?
Nope, wrong button. I'm sorry. Yep, Quack with the win. Scar got second. Joba got third. Pockets was fourth, and Vince Conway rounds out the top 5.
It's Conway, nuts on NASCAR. Yeah, Larry, don't let us bother you. Go ahead and just relax over there. We got this.
Yeah, as you guys can see, I've added something a little new here besides just showing the points. I'm going to be putting up the race results from each race before we get on to the points. You can see all the drivers, their finishing order, how many laps they led, the points they received. You can see, looks like I led the most laps in that race.
I was going to say, you got a little
laps.
star beside your name, didn't you?
That's right. I got a little star there. I led the most
Number
laps,
1 student.
finished outside the top 5. That means I did not get any bonus points toward my chase for this truck series in this race, but I did manage to lead the most laps and gave me an extra bonus point in the standings anyway.
Absolutely. Look at BSR Scar number 83, WLS Graphics. BSR Scar brings home second place. SS Joba, I mean, that guy has been on a tear. He is on a tear at the super speedway races, and he got a third. I squeaked out a fourth. Vince Conway, I tell you, and I like this deal right here, because if you look right up at the top, our good friend Larry Yeager has took the time to put up there the truck bonus points. 3 to win, 2 for second. The rest of the top 5 get 1 bonus point. So that'll tell you this was, when you look at that schedule and you look at that, that'll tell you this was a big deal right here. This is a bonus point event to kick off the 2019 season. And those bonus points we speak of are the championship bonus points that you put in your pocket and you take into the chase. And on the first race of the chase, you lay your money on the table and say, here's what I got, boys. So it looks like Quack got 3 bonus points right off the bat, right there in 2019 in the Drunken Cow Jerky Truck Series.
Yep, and look at Vince Conway, we were just talking about. Managed to pull off top 5, finished in 5th place, led a lap during the race. Showing strong here the first race of the truck season.
Wow, I just realized I never led a lap and got 4th.
Well, let's go over and take a look at the points in this series after just one race. It is BSR Quack with the victory up at the top. Followed up by BSR Scar down by 3. BSR SS Joba down by 4. Myself, Pockets, and Vince Conway all tied for 4th place down by 6 points. So look at that. Pockets didn't lead a lap. Finished 2 spots ahead of me, but since I did lead a lap, led the most laps, those 2 points were made up in lead a lap and leading the most lap bonus points. Vince Conway finished 1 spot behind Pockets, but did lead a lap as well, so that put him right there for the tie. 1 race in, and we've already got 3 drivers tied.
Look at what is that? Eighth place is tied.
Yeah,
With
Monty
1
Keller
point back,
and
10th, 11th.
Nelly tied.
There's down there 13 back, 11th place, 8th, 11th. I tell you, that's why the bonus points are so very important. Every single one of them can make or break. It can be the difference in a championship, and we've seen it several times. Now with this competition model, we've seen ties. Did we not have a tie over the off season?
Yes, in the dirt. A 3-way tie for the dirt.
Yep. So the bonus points are the big deal here, and there's Quack, first recipient of the bonus points for 2019 in the Truck Series that runs on Wednesday night, and there's a look at the points, and that's how it shook out after the first race.
Now, are the trucks going to be at Atlanta this coming up week?
All 3.
All 3
All
are.
3.
All 3. 3 nights in Atlanta. I like it.
If we'll move on to Atlanta, we'll see how Quack can do if he's able to put together a decent race and hold on to that points lead for the first couple of races of the season. Let's move over and take a look at Thursday night.
Let's look at Thursday night.
Thursday night we were off. It ran Saturday, but we're still going to put it up as though it were Thursday. Thursday night Cup Series. We run the Cup cars, and as I said, we moved it to Saturday and upped the race length to 65%. So this was a race here. 65% of the real Daytona 500. Long race, stamina race. You got to stay in there, and this was another great race. We had a lot of green flag racing in here. I think we went well over halfway before we got our first caution. Several green flag pit stops. This was another great race. And who brought home the victory in this one? BSR Pockets in that number 38 Drunken Cow Jerky hot flavored machine. Great job, Pockets, man. Good win.
Unbelievable. Can you believe it? And I'm gonna tell you right now, that one right there was that will get me through the rest of the year. I can tell you that much. No matter what happens the rest of this year, I can still say I won the Drunken Cow Jerky 325 at Daytona, the kickoff of the 2019 season. So that's a huge deal, man, and we were just proud to be able to pull that one off. And thanks for everybody for a fantastic race, man. That thing was fun.
Yeah, you can't start the season off any better than pulling off a victory in the first race of the series. You got your 3 bonus points for that Daytona. You got your victory. You're going to be in the Victory Lane Club. You're there. You're the first guy there. So, great season starter. And, good job once again. You got a top 5 for us in this, Larry. I'm going to bring up the race results here.
Yes. The top 5 was Pockets 1 with a great win. Texan was 2nd. Wings was 3rd. Scarborough was 4th. And Momo was 5th, rounding out the top 5.
This race also was a Drunken Cow Jerky race, and that provided the winner with nice prize packets from our friends down at Drunken Cow Jerky, and I am eagerly awaiting that to arrive in my mailbox any day now.
Yeah, you see Momo there pulling off the top 5. Also, he's got the star by his name. Led the most laps. Led 58 laps out of that race. Looks like SS was the next closest there with 34. Pockets got the win and did manage to lead a few laps there, so an extra bonus point going to him for that. This was a great turnout here. 25 drivers, almost everybody finished running down to what 20th place was running, and you only had 5 cars that were out. Um, Looks like Eli just had a bad connection, got disconnected. Hot Rod lost a clutch, and we had a few other drivers. Looks like Steve Looney, Manny D, and BSR Furco that had trouble, damaged cars, and ended up retiring there. But 20 drivers out of 25 all finished running. Um, that was a great race. Like I said, we had a lot of green flag racing, and it was a great way to open the season.
I think it was 4 caution and 3 of them were for blown motors, wasn't it?
No.
No? Okay.
And once again, BSR Hot Rod.
That was one of them races, was.
BSR Hot Rod that manages, sets up all of our series and points and everything in the Race LM info there, taking the extra time, putting up the Daytona BSR Cup bonus points, 3 to win, 2 for second, and 1 for the rest of the top 5. Yeah, that's just the extra little bit. We appreciate you doing that, Larry. That it says that up there. You take that extra little bit of time to detail out these series the way you do.
How about wings?
It'll make it easier when it gets to the end of the year and we're thinking, well, who got what?
Yes,
Now,
Larry
really
had to do
just-
that because I can't remember shit. That's why he did that. That's what that's all about. So thank you, Larry.
Yeah, that's
And Larry
part of the
knows-
reason. That's part of the
I
reason
can't
I do
remember.
the spreadsheet as well, and I update that every week after each race so that we don't have to go back at the end of the year and manually count everything up. It's so much easier to just count it up one race at a time, and at the end you've got the numbers all right there. You don't have to go back and look at every race and every finish and see who got what.
Yeah, because I can think up a lot of crazy shit. It's just remembering what all I've thought up. So if somebody's not writing it down, Larry kind of figured it out after a while when I kept asking him, "What did we do here? What did we do there?" So he's starting to keep some thorough notes over there in the scoring and scheduling department.
Speaking of scoring, let's see how the points stand here in the Cup Series after the first race of the season.
Let's look at these points. Yeah, this is the Drunken Cow Jerky Cup Series here on runs on Thursday night. Big show, big deal. Let's look at them.
Yep, BSR Pockets with the victory up at the top of the board. Myself, BSR Texan in second, down by 3. BSR Wings in third, down by 4. BSR Momo in fourth, down by 5. And BSR Scar in fifth, down by 6. And as you run back, it's basically almost 1 point between each of those positions. SS by 7, Nelly by 8. You got a couple of more ties in there. I see a tie for 10th place between Fox and Poor Boy, both 12 down. And I see another tie between Steven and Quack, both 18 down. Another tie back there, 22 down, between Hot Rod and Randy C. And once again, we'll be heading into Atlanta here in the Cup Series. And like we said, it is a tire eater. It's not nearly as bad in the truck physics as it is in the Cup. But, man, in the Cup, I think this track you're lucky if you can make a fuel run. So if you got a setup that'll get you a fuel run and this race ends up going green, you may end up with a win with having to make, maybe one less pit stop than everybody else.
I get there.
And what's great about looking at this right here is that if you look at this and just take a mental snapshot of where your favorite driver or where your drivers are, and somebody you root for or whatever, watch how this all changes, because I can tell you right now, the guy down there in 20th, I promise you he's not going to end up in 20th. And the great thing about this is these standings right here, that's not a deal killer. That's just we're keeping a tabulation of all of these races, and whoever is at the top 5 of these standings when the first 26 races is over is going to be in a category for a couple of extra bonus points. But then we clear the slate. As long as these guys have made their required number of races, we erase the slate. We hand you the bonus points that we owe you, and we start the last 10 races for the championship pretty much starting over. These are just actually qualifying yourself for these events, making the required number of events, and if at all possible, getting a bonus point to take with you after the event and then to set yourself up, because we are working our way 26 weeks towards the championship last 10 races. That's the way all these series are set up. So these standings give you an idea of basically how the guys did this week and everything like that, and you just follow along with us, and we'll take you along on the ride right here on the spotter stand every Tuesday night.
That's right. Let's check out the next series, the Friday night Xfinity series.
Let's look at that one too.
Friday night we run the NXS mod. We run the Xfinity schedule from NASCAR, also at Daytona this week. And when you know it, who pulls off the victory in the Xfinity series? BSR Pockets. 2 wins back to back this week at Daytona. 1 in the Cup Series, 1 in the Xfinity Series, bringing that Drunken Cow Jerky hot machine into victory lane once again, picking up those coveted 3 bonus points for the win in this series as well, and going to start himself off at the top of the leaderboard at the beginning of the season. Another great job. Congrats, Pockets.
Thank you very much. That right there was the Friday night race before the big race on Saturday night. That was our regularly scheduled Friday night race. And I tell you, another outstanding race. And, I was fortunate enough to win that race, capture those bonus points. I've got about 26 weeks to completely lose it all, but we're going to start off looking good anyway. So, and like I said, that was a great race. Great job to everybody that came out. What about them standings, Larry?
Yes, Pockets with a good win. Nelly second, Momo third, Texan fourth, and Steve Aluni rounds out the top 5.
Steve Looney slipping in the top 5 there. We know you're racing over there, Steve, tonight, but you typed up there. You got us in your ear. We're talking about you over here. It's a great finish in the Xfinity Series. Pulling off that top 5 there, you'll get you 1 bonus point towards your chase in this series. So you're already picking up what you need to have as much of an advantage as you can in the chase in this series once we get down to those last 10 races. And it looks like once again I was able to lead the most laps in this race, but couldn't pull off the victory. BSR Pockets led 4 laps, took the win. I led 68 of them, but managed to pull off a 4th place victory. And we're talking about SS doing so well in these super speedway races. There's another driver in there, BSR Momo, who has really also been dominating in these super speedway races lately. End up pulling off that 3rd place victory. Momo, no slouch at these super speedways.
Oh, and when there's jerky on the line? Yeah.
This is the race that had all the blow motors in it, Pockets.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well,
I 4 cautions and 3 blowed motors.
Yeah, I can tell you this. That Momo, Texan, look at that, 68 laps. I can remember during both of these races, I kept telling myself, the bonus point event, you want to walk away with at least 1 bonus point. I mean, it's out there. It's top 5. It's doable. But, the racer's mentality is always to win. You want to win. That's what you want to do when you get to the track. It's all about the win. Everybody knows that. But strategy is key, and these bonus points are huge. I've seen it too many times make a difference in a position on the big board. And so racing along and just trying to get into the top 5, trying to play it safe, trying to play it smart, trying to play it cool. But then that opportunity comes and you reach out and you take it and you get that win. If you think you've got a chance and you still make a move, you don't settle for 5th place. But if that's the the least you want to get out of a race like that on a bonus point event like that. And I'll tell you, I've noticed something interesting. Texan, and we looked at this throughout these standings, and this is great to look at. You probably led in 3 races. You probably led what, 150 laps?
Maybe somewhere close to that. It was at least
Definitely.
100 between this series and the truck series. I don't recall how many I led in the cup, but I did lead a few. I don't think it was the most. Yeah, I led a lot of them. Yeah, I qualify well. You know, if DJ's not there, then I can usually manage to get the pole, or I can get second or third place. So since I'm able to start up there at the front, you know, I usually am able to get at the front of that top line, which is usually the one that manages to dominate for most of the race till we get close to the end. And you know, guys are willing just to ride in line, you know, because you know how it is. If you move down to that bottom line, there's not many cars back there. If you're not able to make the pass and get up in the front, you're just going to drop back. So guys usually ride in line, and I'm just fortunate enough that I qualify fairly well, and that's really how I do it in these super speedway races, leading that many laps.
Well,
Yeah, he just barely got 130 laps.
Well, I was
Well,
going to
all
point out
three.
in all 3 of those races, I led 7 laps, but I won 2 of the races. So
That's right, and those, like you said, those bonus points are what matters, you know. And I'll try to make that up by the bonus points that will come from the segments. You know, I will. I'll do my best to get as many top 5 finishes as I can, and like I said, leading a lap in every race. I think I mentioned this in one of the races the other night. Those bonus points for the segment. At the end of each segment, you're going to get a bonus point for the top 5, 2 for the leader of the segment, and if you can lead a lap in every race, then that's 1 bonus point, and that's in the standings in that segment. So, you know, at 13 races in the Cup Series, if you lead a lap in all 13 of those races, well, that's 13 points more you're going to have in the standings come the end of that segment. So that gives you a better opportunity to finish somewhere in the top 5 at the end of that segment. If you can lead the most laps in 1 or 2 of those races, that's another bonus point in the standings. So, yeah, I mean that's part of my strategy is, you know, if I don't think I'm going to be able to, if I'm not fast enough to pass some cars on the track and get up there and lead a lap by racing my way to it, then I'm going to take that lady lap that we like to call it, and on a caution, I'm going to try to stay out and lead a lap. I'm going to get that bonus point in the race if I can, so that I can improve my standings overall.
Well, that is 1 position on the racetrack when you lead a lap that you get to advance. So if you finish 5th, in reality, you finish 4th.
well, I can tell you this, that it does make a difference.
Absolutely.
And if you're paying attention, like I know Killa is, Texan, I call him Killa because he is Killa. I tell you, he's one of the reasons why I pay such close attention to every single point, because you can bet your ass he is. You know what I mean? When I heard him explaining that the other night, I was just sitting there going, uh-huh. He knows that stuff, and you know why he knows that stuff? It's because he got those championship trophies from Drunken Cow Jerky and Real Tech sitting on his shelf over there.
That's right. I've got those, but at least, you know, I'm not opposed to, you know, giving out a little helpful hint here and there, you know, and let people know, hey, if you want to be at the top of those standings come the end of the segment, if you want to get that extra bonus point towards your race, here's something you can do to help yourself do that. If you get an opportunity to lead a lap in any given race, take that opportunity, get that 1 bonus point. That's going to help your overall standings at the end.
Pockets in the chase at the end of the year last year, me, you, and Brain were so tight. We were paying attention to who was leading and who, or getting them laps and weren't getting them laps. Which one of us did and which one of us didn't. At least I was, anyway.
Oh, we all were because every single point, every lap on the track, every position. I mean, you found yourself in your car looking up and looking for the number 49 Drunken Cow Jerky Reaper car, or the 65 Teriyaki car, or the 201 Original, or the 54 Beer Bacon, or a guy like Steve Looney, Monty Keller. Monty Keller was right there with us, man. We had such a great battle that's why I'm so excited about 2019. And it's gonna be the same thing. Everybody's gonna be battling for those points. And Texan, I'll tell you, you you do like to give people those hints and tips and tricks to help them become better competitors. But I can tell you this: before the 2019 season started, the Drunken Cow Jerky Hot Team all got together for a meeting, and we actually have a picture of you hanging in our garage area
Let me
because
guess, you throw darts at it?
that's who we're looking at. We're looking at 2019 is all about finding you and beating you because you are the champion. You drew the bullseye on your back. So that's one of the prizes you get for being the 2018 champion is that you are the guy to beat. So just you give everybody else all the tips they need. We're pretty solid over here. We know what we're up against.
Well, I'm glad to know that my picture's hanging in the garage there. I'll have to come by and take a look at that and see how many holes are in it and what
It's
kind of funky mustache is drawn on it,
it
and all that.
it's the one of you with your cowboy hat playing the guitar out in the yard. That's the one that
Oh,
we're.
that one with the
Yeah.
free metal.
Yes, that's the one we've got. We've got that picture.
Let's take a look at the point standings here in the Xfinity Series after one race. It is BSR Pockets up at the top, and look at there once again, three-way tie for second place between Momo, myself, and Nelly, all down by 3 points, and another tie for fifth place between Steve Looney and Hot Rod, both down by 6 points. And
Yeah, the only race I got to finish all so far all season.
well, you're tied for the top five right now, and coming into Atlanta, like I said, if anybody's going to make a fuel run, I think it'll be you, Larry. I know you work on that setup, work on practice, and see what it takes to be able to finish a fuel run. And yeah, if you got a fuel run set up and it goes green, you just might pull off a victory at Atlanta.
In the cups, I don't know so much. Xfinity is a little tougher. There's a little more involved in that because, yourself, the tires aren't as bad to get to that end, so there's more people can do it. So, but the cup, yep, that's my pride and joy there. That's I'm going to be around the longest.
Well, we did not have a race on Saturday in the team series, but I thought I would go ahead and bring up the team series once again, just to remind us all what the standings are going into next week.
Oh yes, and when we go back, we will be in the trucks.
You heard it, another truck race in the team series.
And that also means Daytona.
Daytona once again.
Yes. And fortunately, I do not believe that I am going to be there. So.
Oh, so your team's going to be a man short.
Yes, they will be.
Well, we are into season 37. Once again, there's a look at your teams. BSR Scar with the great graphic, all the logos up there with the drivers' names on top of the bag. And it looks like Hot Rod is, what team are you on there? I'm looking for your name.
Ghost.
Hot Rod on the Ghost team. So BSR Brain Fade and Ray 50 going to have to do all they can. One team member short to try to advance that team that's coming up Saturday. And here's a look at how they stand.
Yeah, Larry's not real tall, but I don't think he's short either. I mean, so they should be okay.
I think I said a man short, not a short man. Anyway, the Carolina Reaper team, holding that top spot with a pretty good lead over the Ghost team. Your team, Larry, sitting in second place, only down by 9 points. And we got Beer Bacon and Teriyaki both tied for third, down by 15. Hot down by 17. Original down by 19. And the Wolf Bites team, racing with us this season, down by 20. So that Carolina Reaper team with the 2 victories in the first 2 races of this series, pulling off a little bit with a 9-point lead. We've got a battle there for third between Ghost and Teriyaki, both back by 15, and the other team's trailing them by not too much. So going into the truck race, it's going to be an interesting race. Only the 3rd race in, so it leaves, a total of 8 races to go, counting this week. So these points are going to change. These teams are going to start working against those top teams to do all they can to catch up.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's kind of hard to believe that we're only 3 races. This is going to be the 3rd race, right? So we've had all these. Yeah, we've had all these events at Daytona. We've kicked off our 2019 Drunken Cow Jerky Series. We've moved the schedule around to accommodate all the things we needed to, like taking Valentine's Day off. And so we go back to the team series. Like Texan said, 8 races left. This is just getting started.
That's why I'm glad the race I have to miss is early. So, and yeah, that way I can help Brain and 50-50 make up the difference throughout the rest of the season.
I like seeing that Reaper team out in front like that. I like for all the other teams to be able to look at these standings so that they know who is whipping them right now, and to see if they're going to do anything about it. I can assure you that the Beer Bacon team, we ain't taking it.
No, and neither is the Teriyaki team. So there we are. Both those teams tied. And maybe Beer Bacon Teriyaki would do what we can to work together to stay in front of that Reaper team. It ain't going to be easy, but we're gonna give it a shot.
Oh, there's going to be so many deals made and broken in 8 weeks, you won't even be able to keep up with all of them.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the bonus points after the first week of racing. Here are, wait a minute. There we go.
Let's talk about me some more, aren't we?
We're supposed to talk about the truck series first. Yeah, we're going to talk about you a little bit. Now, you didn't get a win in this one, but you did manage a top 5 in Daytona. The middle box there, toward the left, Daytona top 5, BSR Quack with 3 bonus points for the win. Scar picks up 2 bonus points for the second place. SS Joba, Pockets, and Vince Conway all picking up 1 point for their top 5 finish. And then over here on the right, that totals box is growing a little bit. Now in the totals box, I've listed everybody by their car number, and that's the way I'm going to do it. It's just easier to keep track. If you're looking for yourself, look at wherever your car number would line up, and that's where you'll be. Currently, BSR Quack with those 3 bonus points for the Daytona win is holding that top spot in the bonus points, heading toward the chase with 3. Several drivers tied with 2. Pockets, SS Joba, and Scar all have 2 bonus points. Then you got in there Mayhem, Vince Conway, Momo, and myself, all with 1 bonus point so far heading into the chase. And you notice I left that winner race box empty because of the 1 bonus point, but I think I've decided what I'm going to do is for these winners of the bonus point races like Daytona, the All-Star, that's a totally separate race. It's not a regularly scheduled season race, but spring Texas, fall Texas, those guys, like I'll put Quack over there in that winner race box for this Daytona win, but I'm not going to put a bonus point next to his name. That way we will see that he is in the Victory Lane Club, but I won't count an extra bonus point for him since he's already got the 3 for the win.
Where your bonus points go, Texan, put the letter of the track. So put a D for like Daytona. That way we'll remember for the, like when the All-Star comes up, you put a C for Charlotte, the T for Texas. That way we'll know where they came from also.
T4 Tennessee.
Yeah, and once they get it, like say if he gets another win somewhere in
You
the
just got to
season,
say that
then
one.
he will have a
T for
bonus point
Texas.
listed for that.
Don't
Yes,
you?
then you could drop the D, you know what I mean?
Right.
Randy knows.
Let's take a look at the Xfinity Series. The
Let's take a
Xfinity
look at the
Series,
Xfinity.
BSR Pockets did pick up 3 bonus points here for the victory at Daytona. Nelly picking up 2 for second place. Momo, myself, and Steve Looney all picking up a bonus point for our top 5 finishes. And over to the totals, it is BSR Pockets holding the bonus point lead in this Xfinity Series with 4. He's got a 2-point lead over the next few drivers. BSR, Momo, Nelly, and myself all have 2. And you got Steve Looney, Monty Keller, and SS Joba in there with 1. So, bonus points already kicking up. The totals box is already filling up with names, and as we go through the season, it's just going to get fuller. I think we'll fill up almost this entire box by the time segment 1 is over and all the attendance bonus points are put in there.
How about that?
And again, I'm going to move your name Pockets over to that winner race box, and we'll put the D next to your name where the bonus point would go. That way you know you're in the Victory Lane Club.
So the first inductee into the 2019 Victory Lane Club on Thursday and Friday was myself, and on Wednesday was BSR Quack.
That's right.
Very first. Well, that's something. Like I said, that momentum will carry for a long way. Hopefully, all the way through the season, because it's going to have to probably. The good news is we do go back to Daytona, and we're going to Talladega, so I've got that to look forward to. And there's a couple of speedway tracks that let's not forget. I won Texas in the off season. That was a hell of a race.
You won Pocono last year.
There you go. So we're feeling pretty good about this. I mean, we didn't start off that good last year. I mean, I can't remember a season that we've started this well and was able to be fortunate enough, lucky enough, and a little bit good enough to win 2 straight races in the first 3 at Daytona. So, and I want to give a special thanks to Mark and Richard Heyman and all the fine folks down in Dallas, Texas at drunkencowjerky.com, the sponsor of my car. I am the hot flavored driver, and we're proud to bring those victories home for our sponsor.
Let's take a look at the Thursday night Cup Series points.
Yes, I'm hot.
Very similar results here. BSR Pockets once again with the victory. 3 bonus points. I managed to pull off a second place finish in this race, bringing myself 2 bonus points. Then we got Wings, Momo, and Scar all getting 1 bonus point as well. But over in the totals box, it is BSR Momo who's holding the lead currently with 4 bonus points. Momo picking up a bonus point in the AK Daytona race, also picking up a bonus point in the Daytona top 5, and picking up 2 bonus points for the winner of that Voiles Trucking Shootout, the one that Larry picked up the 2 bonus points for last year. So there's where his 4 come from to stay up there in the lead. But he's got a couple of drivers right behind him. Pockets with 3, myself with 3. And then we got Steve Looney, Monty Keller, BSR Wings, SS Joba, and Scar all sitting in there right now with 1 bonus points. That's just 1 race in the books. We have got a lot more to go, 25 more to go before the chase in this Cup Series, and several in the other series as well. So looking forward to moving on with this season. We're off from Daytona and on to Atlanta. It's going to be another great week of racing, and it's going to start tomorrow night. Tomorrow night in the Truck Series, we'll be on the track at Atlanta. I can't wait.
I'll tell you something else. How many races are in the first segment, Larry? Is it 13?
Yep. And the Cup is 13 and 13. It's doubled up.
Yep. So that means now you've got to maintain that top 5 status for that extra little bonus point for the segment. That's something very important. You see how close it is right here with bonus points. So this is them bonus points, man. I had actually forgot about the bonus points being awarded for the Speed Weeks events and the finale of the AK series, and Momo shows up, does good in those races, has a so-so race in the opener, but he's still top dog right now. I mean, that's what counts right there is the bonus points, because like I said, when we get to the last 10 races, we're going to erase the board. We're going to add in your bonus points. We're going to run what you brung 10 races at 10 select tracks. That's going to determine the 2019 DrunkenCowJerky.com champion. And hey, it's a great start so far.
Yeah, and like I said, Momo, showing up and doing so well at these Daytona races, he's no slouch at the other tracks as well. So I would expect to see his name over in the Victory Lane Club and picking up a few more bonus points for wins. We got, like I said, the Texas race, the All-Star race coming up. We got another Daytona race that's going to be bonus points. And if Momo makes enough of the races, I expect he's probably going to be in the top 5 and pick up some segment bonus points as well. So he's probably going to be right there come chase time, either in the lead or very close to it.
Absolutely. And man, we're going to have more prizes, drunken cow jerky, racing. We got a lot going on, and this is going to be exciting. We're really excited to get the 2019 season kicked off, and it's great to be back up here on the spotter stand with the Foot Doctor and you, Texan. It's a pretty cool thing we do every week for our drivers and those that follow along and the fans. So thanks for putting that all together, man. Great job.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys being here with me to do it and help out. It's we had a lot of fun and good time doing it last year, and we're going to do it again all season long this season. It's good to just get out there, get the info out that everybody can look at and check out, show off all these renders that are done by BSR Scar. Give everybody the updates, let them know where they're at in the point standings. If you don't check the standings before each race, you can see them right here every Tuesday night on the spotter stand. You'll know exactly where you are in the standings for each series, where you stand in the bonus points as we move closer to the chase. Get all your info right here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central.
This is also where we'll talk bad about you if you're not in the room. We'll make a joke about you. We'll talk about drivers and stuff. So, yeah. That right?
That's right.
Well,
we'll talk bad about you
Larry,
even if you are in the room.
Yeah, I talk about Larry, and he is here.
Well, with that, we're gonna call it a night, and we will see you guys tomorrow night at Atlanta in the Truck Series. Been another great show. Appreciate you guys being here, Pockets and Hot Rod. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks, everybody. Holla.
Later.